Hello and welcome back to another episode of MotoGP 21. Now in today's video we have a slightly different video. We are checking out a mod made by a very good friend of mine, Biker Gaming. I'll link the mod and his channel down below, but he's done the 2022 mod as you will have seen by the title. Now we're just going to fly through all the classes quickly there and talk about the mod. Now, a lot of you will have noticed his channel has been pretty dormant of late, and that is pretty much because he's been working on this. Each year he does this mod, and I think it was 2 years ago he did a World Superbike mod, which was pretty extensive. It was pretty cool as well. But overall, he has synced God knows how many hours into this mod, and you go through all the classes, has the up-to-date riders. Now, some leathers and liveries and stuff aren't in it just because they're not available, but all the current riders and their helmets are in the game, and we are going to probably do a race on a Moto3 bike. I have a rider in mind that I'm going to pick, but he has all the teams up to date, which is it's pretty good for checking out the calendar, or not the calendar, the roster for next season. There's a lot of moves that have happened that I have slipped through the cracks and didn't notice until I flicked through when I was recording this. So it's pretty cool to see who's gone where, especially in the lower classes. And there we have Zonta van der Gerberg, who's moved up into the Moto2 class from, I think he was in the CEV Moto3 Championship, I think. But in the GP class, there's not massive movements. I don't think there's anyone changed in the first two rows. All the factory teams seem very similar. It's when you get down to the Ducatis and the Petronas Yamaha, which is now RNF, I think it is. Yeah, RNF. So we have Marini and Bezzecchi. And then you see Darren Binder and Andrea Dovizioso in the RNF. Then we have Fabio Di Gianantonio and Enea Bastianini. And then Raul Fernandez, big year for him. And Remy Gardner also. No, we're going to go back and probably, we're going to go with Moto3. So we're going to go as Alberto Sura. This guy is highly rated. And we're going to just jump into Portimao, and I'll talk about him in a second. But he is pretty high rated from everyone in the VR46 Academy. So I reckon he'll be one for the future. He's got his first full-time ride in the GP paddock this season coming up. So keep an eye on this guy. I reckon hopefully he'll get better results than, I think, back of Nico Bulaga. Brilliant opening for season, was great in the rookies and in the Spanish Championship. But then when it came on to Moto3, he had a very good first season and I just tailed off. Then you need to look back at Finati. He was brilliant in Moto3, then made the jump up, had his issues, and now look where he is now, years and years later. So the Italians tend to kind of sometimes implode internally, so let's hope this guy Alberto makes a good start in his Moto3 career and progresses up the ranks. But we're on lap 1 of 3. We're already up into the top 20. He is riding for, of course, the Maranelli Snipers, the Honda team. So going to a very good team. I'd say Valentino's probably pulled a few strings to get him such a high rated ride in his rookie season. But we decided to go for Portimao on a Moto3 just because it's a motocross track on a pretty wide little Moto3 bike. It's pretty fun to ride around. But we're up behind the gas of Yarmolenko. Going to send it up into this corner here. Just sit him up, but he actually just turns into me, but we should get the move done. Next up is Kelso. So there's a lot of rookies in it this year. Another man actually who was after making a pretty high profile move is John McPhee. He's now in Max Biaggi's team, which is a pretty well run team. I am expecting to see some serious improvement from him in the 2022 season. I believe he can have a solid season. We are probably going to catch him at some point in this. Just slipstream through the gap there, just passing Carlos Tatai into the points we go. So I think it's Josh Watley there. He's going to be in the Michael Laverty British, I'm not sure the full name, but this young team for the British riders, the British Talent Cup kind of progressive ride for that. I'm not really sure what their term is yet. And Scott Ogden is just up in P12, and you can see a lot of bikes still have no liveries just because they haven't been released yet. So we're playing white bike, but all the helmets from my knowledge are in the game. So it is after taking him months to get this going, but he's after getting there, and it's pretty damn well And I might do some more. I might do a championship on this after I finish career mode. Might just use this and just use the MotoGP class and see what it's like. But we're halfway around lap 2 now, and we're up into P12 behind Dennis Onchu. I know one move that surprised me most in Moto3 this year. Now, I think it's the manufacturer of pull string is Tatsuki Suzuki after getting a Leopard ride. I just don't see where the performance, how he deserves that, especially after them punting Xavi Artigas out to make room for him, when Artigas was a pretty good rookie. If you took Pedro Acosta, we probably wouldn't bang the drum with Artigas. But yeah, I just think Suzuki hasn't really done a lot to deserve that ride. He's very hit and miss really. He's a great qualifier at times. He has such a good record in pole positions, but he often crashes out of kind of nowhere. He's always at the back of a group and then tips off when it's kind of it's hard to describe, but he's just something about him that I feel like he lacks that extra 1%. On his day he's ridiculously quick, but that day is just far and few between. So to see him get into a pretty high, well regarded HRC supported class, or team I should say, it's a bit of a head scratcher for me. I can only think that it's Honda who are putting maybe an extra bit of resources into the Leopard team just to get a Japanese rider in. But I don't know, I think he'll slowly start to fade, but we'll see. You never know. You could have said the same about some of the riders. Moto3 is a very difficult class to call. There's a lot of riders that you could say haven't been up to the level, and then one season comes along and they're the top rider in the class. There's a lot to the Moto3 class. I don't think it's probably one of the most confusing classes to be in, so it's hard to see. But up next we have Xavi Artigas. He's moved to the Prustel team, I think it's called, replacing Philip Salac, who's moved up to Moto2. So I expect big things from this man in the 2022 season. He had a pretty decent rookie campaign, but now the jump from Honda to KTM will be interesting to see how he makes it. A lot of people struggling to go back to a KTM from the Honda being the primarily the dominant bike in the class. But we're coming out of the final corner for the final time, and there's actually contact. He just sits up and we get him in the end, so we go from last to P6, just behind our teammate John McPhee up in fourth, Foggia third, Garcia and Messia rounding out the podium. So this mod is available on PC only. Of course you can mod console, but I will link it down in the description. As all the 2022 riders, you can see all the menus are updated to be 2022 as well. But I'm going to leave it there for today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one.